Hi guys, I just wanted to make a quick video for you showing you how to do a geomantic reading. All you're going to need to do this is something to write with and a piece of paper. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to start with is a question. You want to pose a yes or no type question. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to use, will I get the job from the next interview I go on? Because I've been looking for a job recently. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 16 lines. You're just going to number them out on your piece of paper. And now, we're going to use each of these lines to get the first elements to our mother figures. And I'll explain that all later, but so for our first line, we're going to want to focus on the question at hand. So think about it really strongly and start making dashes. Don't count the dashes you're making. Just think about the question and stop when it feels right. You're going to do that for every single one of these 16 lines. So I'm going to go through and do that real quick, and then I will be back to you. Okay, so now that we have all of our lines, we are going to group them together in fours. So our first one, our second one, our third one, and our fourth one. Each of these sections are going to make our mothers. So we're going to have 4 mothers. The first line is going to make our first mother's head. So what you want to do is you want to count how many dashes you have made. I have 13 here, so that's an uneven number, so our mother would have 1 dot for her head. Uneven numbers are 1 dot, and even numbers are 2 dots. So we want to go down to our next line, and we're going to make our mother's neck. Count your lines. That's 15, that's another single dot. Now our mother's torso. 11, another single. Now our mother's feet. That's 14, so that's even. So now we're going to go through and do this for each section, creating our 4 mothers.
Camera's rolling.
Okay, so once you have all these 4 figures done, you're going to take them and put them on a geomantic chart, which I've drawn on the next page. So in this first area here are going to be where you put your mothers. So you just want to take the 3 mothers you just created, starting with the first, and add them to your chart. There's the first one. The second one. Third one. And your fourth let's just label that so it doesn't get confusing. So we're going to take our mother figures and we're going to create our next set of figures with them. And these, a lot of people call the daughters. So the way you create them is really easy. So starting with your first mother, you're going to take her head, and she's going to be your first daughter's head. Moving over to your second mother, you're going to take her head. That's going to be the next line on your daughter. Third mother, her head. And fourth mother, her head. So there you have your first daughter. Your second daughter, you're going to make in the same way, but using the necks of the mothers. So, first neck, second neck, third neck, and the fourth neck. And then we have the torsos. First and second, third and fourth. And then the feet. And now you have all of your daughter figures. Okay, so for the next line, we're going to be making our nieces. And the way we create these is we're going back up to our mothers, and we're going to take both mother number 1 and mother number 2. And we're going to look at their heads going across and count how many lines or dots there are. So, for example, for here, there's 3. So that's an uneven number, meaning our first niece would have 1 dot for her head. It's an uneven number. And then going down to the necks, we have 2 dots. That's even. Our torsos, also even. And our feet are even. So there's our first niece. Our second niece is created from mother number 3 and mother number 4 in the same way that we just did. So we have uneven, 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 and even. Moving over to the daughters, we're going to create the third niece and the fourth niece with the first and second daughter and the third and fourth daughter the same way we did with the mothers. So their heads are an even number. Necks uneven. Torsos are even. And feet are even. Same thing. Uneven, 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 and even. So here we have our row of nieces.
Action.
Okay, so now that we've generated our 4 nieces, we're going to use these 4 figures to create our witnesses, which will then create our judge, and our judge will be our final figure. So how we're going to do this is the same way we just created the nieces. We're just going to take the first 2 nieces and look at their heads, and we have an even number. So it's a 2. We have an odd number, another odd number, and an even number. Same thing over here. Odd number, even number, odd number, even number. And now, to make our judge, we do the same thing. So we have an odd number, an odd number, even number and a even number. So this is our final geomantic figure. Cut it there. So this figure that we've generated is called Fortuna Minor, which means lesser fortune in Latin. And it's not necessarily a bad sign for my question at hand, which was if I would get the job at my next interview. Basically, what it symbolizes is that you have the ability to procure or receive a small amount of money or income, but it's not going to be like the end all give all or anything like that. Like, it's not going to be like your lifelong career or anything like that, and you're gonna have to work to make it work out, and like, it's not like you're gonna win the lottery or something like that. But for like a short-term job, it could be favorable. So I'm fairly happy with that outcome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. Bye.